Hello and welcome to Chair Yoga Foundations. I'm calling this class Foundations because we're going to spend a little bit of extra time working on our foundation, which is our feet, our ankles, our lower legs. Sometimes a neglected part of our body, but super important because it supports our body weight, it helps us to walk and run and move throughout the day. So I hope you'll enjoy it. We'll start by sitting nice and tall in our chair, feet planted firmly on the floor, long through your spine, shoulders down and back. And we'll take a few slow deep breaths at the beginning of our routine this morning. So inhale slowly through the nose. And exhale back out. We'll do two more of those as we settle into our time. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Continue to sit tall. Turn your head to the right side and turn your head to the left side. Like you're slowly shaking your head no. Keeping your shoulders down away from your ears. Chin stays parallel to the floor. Just gently stretching out through the head and the neck. Next time your head is turned to the right side, hold it there, then take your entire upper body and rotate to the right side as well. You can grab onto the seat of your chair, you might have an armrest there, or just use your thigh, something to support your body in this gentle twist. And then we'll release. Turn first your head to the left side, and once that's in place, rotate your whole upper body to the left. Gaze is over your left shoulder. Good, release and face forward. Continue to keep your shoulders down and relaxed and tilt your head to the right, tilt your head to the left. So we're continuing to work through our head and our neck. It's not going to all be about the lower legs today. We're going to get all our muscles. So kind of focusing here on the upper body for a few moments. Creating space on the opposite side. Now tilt your head to the right and hold it. You can stay right here if this feels good, or you can bring your left arm, the opposite arm, behind your back. And that includes your shoulder in the stretch. Bring your head back up to center, slide your arm back and around, then tilt your head to the left. Again, you have the option of just holding here, or for a little more stretch, you can bring your right arm behind your back. See how that feels. Head back up to center, arm back to your sides. Bring both arms right in front of you. Join your palms together. Inhale as you bring your right arm behind you. You're opening up through the chest and shoulders. Exhale as you bring the hand forward again. Then left arm, inhale as you open behind you. Exhale as you come forward. So we're continuing our slow, deep breathing, but adding some movement and some gentle stretch as we do. And you're just reaching back as far as feels good to your shoulder, your back today. Let's do one more to the left. Big breath in. Exhale out. Stay facing forward. Open your arms to the sides. Feel the stretch. Then hug in tight with your right arm crossed on top. Drop your elbows and chin down toward your chest. Hold here for a moment, stretching the back of your neck. Lift back up. Stretch your arms back out. Hug in this time, left arm on top. Drop everything down. You're getting nice and tight. Sit back up, lift chin and elbows, stretch out to the side. Cross once again, maybe even tighter this time. This is a good shoulder stretch. Lift back up, stretch open. Hug in tight, left arm on top. Drop everything down. Come back up. We'll end with a nice big stretch to the side. And then bring your hands to your thighs. Next, we'll warm up through our torso area with torso rolls. These can be a little tricky if we try to do them quickly right at the beginning, so we're going to learn them slowly. So start by taking your rib cage, thrusting it forward. You're arching through your back. Then slide your ribs over to your right side. Now pull your ribs back. You're rounding through your back, belly button toward the spine, and then slide your ribs to the left, forward, side, back, side. So once you kind of get the hang of these isolated movements around, you can smooth it out into that rolling motion. If that doesn't feel good, if you're having a little trouble coordinating it, just keep with it how we started. All right, we're gonna do the other side. Once again, we'll start slowly. So bring your rib cage forward. Slide it to the left. Slide it to the back, you're rounding. Slide it to the right and forward again. So left side, back, right side, forward. And you can keep doing it that way or smooth it out and roll it around. Yeah, it looks a little funny, feels a little awkward, but it's such a good way to warm up through your torso, through your back, through your abdominals, and your chest. All right, come to center. Bring your arms back. I'm not going to keep them on them. We're going to keep them on our thighs because we're going to reach across. Start with your right arm. You're going to reach and stretch across one direction and then bring it back down. I think it's more comfortable if we start with hands on thighs so we can just focus on extending through our fingertips, creating that twist in our back. So it's another way to warm up through our torso and our core. Big reach one direction, big reach the other. And we'll do that one more time, each arm. Nice. All right, make sure you're still sitting tall. Arms are gonna lift up and you're gonna bend your wrists one direction. You're gonna lower down and bend your wrists the other. So when we lift up, this is called wrist flexion, and this is wrist extension. I get those mixed up a little bit because in anatomical position, when you're standing tall, your palms face forward. Doesn't really matter. You're just bending your wrists here one direction and the other, starting to warm up through our wrists as we continue to warm up through our shoulders. And I call this move paint the fence. You can kind of see why. That reminds me a little bit of the Karate Kid movie. All right, that's our last one. Interlace your fingers. Notice which thumb is in front. Just make a mental note of that because we're going to do it again with the opposite thumb in front, but not yet. While we have our hands here, we're going to roll our wrists around. So now we're paying some focus to our hands, our wrists, and our fingers. Our fingers are getting a gentle stretch because they're interlaced, so we're creating some space between our fingers. All right, now you're going to unclasp your fingers, come back together with the opposite thumb in front. This one might feel a little more awkward. We'll start to roll it out. Usually when we do our finger interlace position, we like to put one hand in front, always. So it feels a little different when we switch sides. All right, release, shake out your fingers, wiggle through your wrists a little bit, and we'll focus now on our feet, ankles, lower legs, kind of the focus of our routine today. Just start by lifting up your heels and setting them down. Lift up your toes and set them down. So just one part of the foot and the other part of the foot. Trying to loosen up through our ankle joint a little bit as we continue to sit nice and tall. All right, just to make this a little fancier, we're gonna do one heel lift, 2 toe taps, tap, tap. Lift up, down, tap, tap. We'll try that a couple more times. You might be starting to feel those muscles along your shins. All right, then we're gonna switch. 1 toe lift, heels twice. Toes up, down, heels. So now we have to use our brain a little bit more. It's all good. That'll be our last one. Take your right foot, bring it up across your foot. And we're going to stretch through our toes, try to create a little bit more space. So take your big toe and your pinky toe and just stretch them away from your middle toe. It's nice to have a good amount of space between your toes. That helps you to balance and walk properly. And sometimes manually stretching our toes out like this can be helpful. All right, same thing with your second toe and your fourth toe. You're going to open them away from that middle toe and just hold for a few seconds. And what are we going to do with that poor middle toe? It doesn't have a partner. We're just going to take it and stretch it side to side. All right. Set that foot down. We'll do the same thing on the left foot. So start with your big toe and your pinky toe, stretch them apart. So we're kind of mimicking what one of those pedicure tools does. You know, when you separate your toes, your toe separator. We're doing the same thing here. All right, second toe and fourth toe. Just pulling it away from that middle toe. And then we take the middle toe and just sweep it back and forth. I was a middle child. I know what it's like. All right, bring your foot back down, kind of shake everything out, and we're going to move on. Re-lengthen through your spine, feet are flat on the floor. Bring your arms to a goalpost position. Now, if all the way back isn't comfortable, you're welcome to bring your arms forward a little bit. Holding your arms in this position, hinge forward from your hips, keeping your spine nice and long, and sit back up. We'll do that a few more times. Hinge forward, maintain that nice long back, rise up. So this requires a lot of core strength, maintaining the long spine, hinging forward. One more time. This one we will hold. So get strong through your core. Arms reach overhead. Back to goalpost position. And only if it's comfortable for your elbows and shoulders. Rotate your arms down and back up to goalpost. Reach overhead. Back to goalpost. Rotate if you want. Unrotate. The whole time your core is bracing. Goalpost, rotate, back up. One more, reach overhead, back to goalpost, rotate, unrotate. The entire upper body comes up and rests. Well done. Take your right leg, lift the knee up, set the leg down. Make sure your knee lifts to your chest. You're not slouching towards your knee. That takes a little bit more leg and core strength to make your knee lift up. Let's do this one more time, and then we're going to take a hold of our leg, wrapping around across our shin, maybe pulling that knee in a little tighter to feel a gentle stretch in the glute. While we're here, let's work through our ankle a little bit more by flexing and pointing. I promised you a little extra focus in the lower legs today. So here's another exercise for that. All right, just let your foot hang relaxed, and we're going to test our core strength a little bit. You are welcome to hold onto your leg with both hands, or just hold onto it with your right hand as you reach your left arm out to the side. Notice how that's a little more challenging. So second option is to hold here with just one hand, keeping your leg in place. Next option, and I bet you know what it is, right arm reaches out. Oh, we have to brace like crazy through our legs, through our core, and relax. Oh, big breath before we do side two. All right, here we go. Left knee up and down a few times. So we're working our way into that challenge. And even this knee lift is starting to wake up the core on side two. All right, here's our last one. We're gonna hold it up, wrap the leg, pull it in as you sit a little taller. And then we will flex and point through our foot a few times. Noticing if maybe one foot's a little more flexible than the other. If so, give that foot special attention. All right, just let it hang nice and relaxed. And we're testing our core. Option one is to sit right here, holding on with both hands. Option two, keep your left hand across the leg, reach your right arm out to the side, maintaining the long spine. And our final option option. Ooh, this one's tough. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And relax. Well done. We're gonna keep working through our legs a little bit in a seated version of Warrior One. So we'll start by kind of turning our body to the right side. Our right knee is angling to the right corner of the room. And we're gonna extend our left leg back as straight as you are comfortable doing. Everyone's chairs are a little bit different and our hips and our legs are a little different. So you do what feels comfortable to you. So once you've got your left leg extended, rotate your hips towards your right leg. And you can keep your hands on your hips or lift one or both arms up toward the ceiling. And this is our seated Warrior One. So in a seated position, we can enjoy the stretch a little bit more rather than working. But don't get too excited because we might be doing a standard version of Warrior One shortly. All right, lower your arms if you've lifted them. Keep your feet wide, but you're gonna rebend your left knee. So now both knees are turned out to the corners of the room. Lift your arms up overhead, then bend your elbows into a cactus or a goalpost position. And this is called Goddess Pose in yoga. And if you're doing it right, really bracing through your core, pulling your shoulders down and back, you should feel muscles working here. We're also opening up through our hips, we're opening up through our chest and shoulders. Nice deep breath in and out. And then relax. Warrior One on the other side. So start to kind of angle to the left, then send your right leg back away from you. So both feet have contact with the floor. Rotate your hips maybe a little bit more, never force them, but the best you can. You're facing your left leg. Decide if you want one, both, or no arms overhead. Any of those options are absolutely fine. And we'll hold here for a few seconds, feeling the stretch, feeling a little bit of strength too. And then arms down. Face forward again, both knees bent and turned out from your hips. Lift your arms up. And come to cactus position, back into Goddess Pose once again. So we'll take a couple deep breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. One more time in. And out. Well done. Relax, bring your legs back in, shake everything out. Grab a quick sip of water. We're getting ready to stand on our feet, so it's a nice time just to take a little recovery. And when you're ready, we'll be on our feet and we'll be using our chair for balance. All right, you're gonna stand behind your chair. I'm just bringing my chair out this position so you can see better, but I, like you, am standing directly behind the chair. And I'm gonna set up into Warrior One standing. Remember, I promised you it was coming. So start by sending your left leg behind you. Now, you have a couple of options with that back foot placement. You can angle it on the floor about 45 degrees like I'm demonstrating. If that is not comfortable on your heel or your ankle, you're welcome to lift the heel up like a regular lunge position. So you decide how you want to set the back foot. Your back leg is long, your front knee is bent. So once you've got your legs in place, rotate your hips forward as best and as comfortably as you can. Then we're going to take our forearms to the seat back of the chair and set our forehead onto our arms. So this is a lowered version of Warrior One. You still want to be active through your core, so pull your belly button towards your spine. Keeping your legs where they are, just lift your torso up. Set both hands now on your seat back. And if you need to make any adjustments with your legs, go ahead and do so. You can keep your hands on the seat back or lift one or both arms overhead. So this is where we focus a little bit more on strength in Warrior One now that we're on our feet. All right, hands down, shift your weight forward, bring that back foot in. Now your feet are parallel, and we're going to work our ankles once again by lifting and lowering our heels. Tall spine as you lift and set down. this is really working out through those ankle and joints, the joints and the tendons and ligaments. We have so many of those in our feet and ankles. So it's good to keep them mobile and strong. All right, last one. Back away from your chair a little bit. We'll take a nice stretch after that. Hinge from your hips into L stretch. And we'll just hold here for a moment, feeling the stretch through our shoulders and chest, through our glutes and our hamstrings. And come back up by stepping towards your chair, rising out of L stretch. All right, we've got side two. So I'm just going to turn my chair, you don't need to. We're going to step away from the chair with now our right leg. Remember your options for your foot placement. It can be angled or the heel can be lifted. Back leg is straight regardless. Front knee is bent. Rotate your hips forward as best you can. Then bring both forearms to your seat back and set your head upon your forearms. Still very active through your core here. Legs stay where they are. Just lift your chest back up. Decide if you want to keep both hands on the chair or lift one or both arms up toward the ceiling. And here's our standing version of Warrior One on side two. Take a nice deep breath. Don't forget to breathe slowly and regularly. And then lower your hands. Bring that back foot forward slowly and carefully. And we'll work through our ankles again. So heel lifts up and down. If you want to test your balance a little bit more here, you can maybe just have 2 fingers on your chair back. Or if you really want to go crazy, no contact at all. Ah, it's crazy. One more. And release. L stretch again. L stretches are one of my favorites. So we do this in every routine, I'm pretty sure. Feels really good. It's a great way to stretch and open through the chest and shoulders. All right, step forward, slowly rise up. All right, now turn so the chair is now on your left side. We're going to stretch our hard-working ankles and calf muscles by stepping back with our outside leg. All toes face forward and both legs are straight here. Once you've got your legs in place, inhale, lift your arm and your outside heel, set it down. Lift and reach up, set it down. We'll do that a couple more times. Good, we're gonna do it once more. And then hold in position. Hinge from your hips. Your outside arm can come behind you. Maybe even the inside arm comes back. Both legs straight, spine is straight. Stretching through your legs. And rise back up. Bring that back foot forward. It is now parallel to the other foot. And we're going to do a few squats. So bend your knees, hinge from your hips. Your outside arm can lift or not. You can keep the hand on the hip. Whatever works for you. Either one. We are working through now our upper legs as well as our lower legs. Our thighs, our hamstrings, our glutes. So important to maintain this ability throughout our lives. One more, but we're going to hold this one. So maybe that outside arm is still up. Maybe the inside arm wants to join it. Brace through your core. Feel the strength in your legs. Rise back up. Oh, shake it out. Of course we have to do it again, right? We've got the other side. So you can spin your chair around. Send your left leg back. Make sure both feet face forward. Both legs are long. Then lift your outside arm and heel. Set down. Lift and lower. We'll do that a couple more times. All right, one more. Keep your legs straight. Hinge forward. Outside arm comes behind. Maybe the inside arm does as well. Hold strong. Rise back up. Step forward with your back leg and get ready for squats. Sink down, rise up, lower, and lift. As you stand, you're pressing through your heels, really activating your glutes. We have one more. This is the best one because we get to hold it. Take one or both arms overhead. Strong, strong, strong. Keep breathing though. Rise up. I know you wanted to keep holding, but I was done. So we're done. Shake it out. All right. Spin the chair so that you've got the seat available to help you balance through this next movement. What we're going to do is take the inside knee and just prop it up on the seat chair. So we've got some support right here, even though our foot is off the ground. Other foot faces forward. Hands can be on your hips. You can hold your arms here or lift them overhead. And we're going to sway side to side, stretching one direction, stretching the other. So we're not completely balanced, but we're not just kind of really struggling for stability either. So hopefully you can enjoy the side to side stretch as you challenge your balance just a bit. You can use the chair in all kinds of ways. So this is one way to do it. Just prop one knee up. All right, come back to center and bring your foot to the floor. And we'll do side two. So chair the other way. When you've got it in place, prop your knee up, lengthen through your spine. Decide if you want to have your hands here, here, or here. And when you're ready, stretch one direction, stretch the other. Just a nice side to side flow, opening up through the side body, strengthening your core a little bit. And get ready to come back to center, and everything sets down. All right, you won't need a chair at all for this next series of stretches, but you will need some wall space. So find an empty wall in your house right now. And I'm just going to use this column right here. We're going to do our pyramid stretch and a little mini back bend. So start by sending your right leg back. Your left foot is forward. Both toes, you have more than two. All 10 toes face forward. Or if it's more comfortable, you can angle your back foot about 45 degrees or so. Hinge from your hips and set your hands on the wall. You're going to hinge far enough forward that you feel a good stretch in your hamstring. So this is our supported pyramid pose. Rise back up. Step both feet pretty close to the wall now. We're going to do a wall-supported back bend. Your hands will be right across from your shoulders. When you're ready, big breath in. Lift your chest. Arch through your back as much as you're comfortable doing. Your head is tilted up somewhat, but this should not be uncomfortable on your neck. So just feel that nice extension through your back. If you want to bring your hands all the way down on the floor behind you, go for it. But those days are long over for me. And come back to center. And I was only joking. I'm good. All right, we've got side two. All right, so you're going to start now with your left foot back. Either foot forward or slightly angled. The front foot definitely is forward. Hinge from your hips. Hands supported on the wall in front of you. And hinge far enough that you feel that stretch in your hamstrings. When you're ready, come back up. Step pretty close to the wall, hands right about shoulder level. Big breath in, lift your chest, arching through your back. Don't drop your head way, way back here. It's heavy, you gotta bring it back up if you do. And come back to neutral, shake everything out. All right, don't need anything for this next series of stretches. It's a 4-part stretch series. You're gonna bring your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Big breath in. Exhale out. Side stretch to your right. Lower your arm back down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, both arms down. Reach to your left and back to center. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale up. Exhale. Reach right. Lower down. Inhale up. Exhale. Reach to your left. Back down. Now another 4-part series. Bring your arms out to the sides. Open up. You're stretching through your chest and shoulders. Round forward. Arms come together. Just lift your head and chest. Rotate to your right and rotate to your left. Your knees are softly bent. Face forward. Pull back and stretch. Round forward and stretch. Lift your head. Rotate right. Rotate left. We'll do that one more time. Pull back and open. Round forward. Lift your head. Turn right. Turn left. Face forward and relax. All right, get your chair back in place. Hydrate if you need to. We'll have a seat. Do a little bit more stretching and movement before we rest and relax. So we did a standing back bend at the wall. We're going to do one seated as well. And I think I'm going to turn sideways for this so you can see a little bit better what I am doing. Feet are flat on the floor and your back is definitely off the backrest. One hand is on the seat of the chair, the other hand is behind your head. Inhale, lift your chest and chin, arching through your back. Exhale, back to neutral. Switch your hand placement. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale as you neutralize the spine and switch. So I like to have my hands in this position, one down and one behind the head, so I'm very supported. I don't know if you can hear that construction work going on outside. It is quite loud today. Let's do that one more time. And rest. So we can still do back bends even if we can't get our hands and feet all the way to the floor. We can absolutely enjoy that stretch as well. All right, so we're facing forward now. Open your legs, nice wide position. One hand on each side for support. Hinge forward. Then take your right shoulder, dip it toward the ground as you gently press your right leg away. So we're getting a nice twist in the back, opening up through our hips. Come back to center, rise up, and we'll do side two. So hinge forward first, then dip your left shoulder down, pressing your left knee away, just very slightly. Center back up, and rise. Keep your stance wide, arms out to your sides. We're gonna stretch to the right side, stretch to the left side. And I want you to kind of picture your ribs sliding across your hips here. This one's a little tricky too. It's kind of like that torso roll we did at the beginning. Kind of isolating the rib cage is a tough thing to do. Now if you want to get even fancier with this, one palm up, one palm down, and then you switch. It's like you're wringing out a washcloth. Good, one more stretch side, and then we'll come in and bring your legs back together. Now we're going to stretch our lower body that's been working so hard for us. Take your right hip forward. Then hold on to the chair for a little extra support. Keep your spine long and hinge forward. Feel the hamstring stretch. Maybe feel it through your calf and through your ankle. Rise back up. Pull the foot in. We're not done with the right side. We're going to take the big toe of the right foot and slide it up the lower leg of the left and back down again. And notice what's going on with your hip. We're externally rotating our thigh bone in our hip. So it's another great way to open and strengthen our hip. Good, let's do one more. Beautiful. Both feet down, then send your left heel forward. Grab onto that seat chair if you like. Hinge when you're ready. So left leg is long, spine is long. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the leg. Sit back up. Pull your heel in. Big toe. We'll slide up the lower leg and back down. We'll do that 3 more times, nice and slow. Don't rush through it. 1 more. And relax. Oh, shake everything out. Let's roll our shoulders down and back a few times, just in case there's still any tension left in our upper body. Just gotta shake your legs out. All right, you know I like to end my chair yoga classes with a little breathing exercise. And the one today is a little bit tricky, but it's a great one to do if you really need to slow down your breathing, get your mind off things that are troubling you, because you really have to focus on this one. And it's called alternate nostril breathing, and it's just the way it sounds. We're going to be pinching off one nostril and then switching to the other side. So traditionally, the finger position, both your first finger and your middle finger are down. So you're going to be using your thumb and your ring finger to pinch off one side or the other. If that just feels kind of funky, you can totally do it anyway. So we'll use our right hand. If your left hand, use your left hand. And we're going to take our thumb to the same side nostril. Inhale through just the left. At the top of your breath, pinch it off with your ring finger and exhale. Inhale. At the top, thumb pinches off the nostril, exhale. Inhale. Ring finger pinches, exhale. Inhale. Thumb, exhale. Inhale. Ring finger pinches and exhale. So that was just a few repetitions, but hopefully that kind of gave you an idea. Notice how you really had to focus in on which finger was working and, making that switch at the top of the breath. So it's a great one to do if you're kind of just stressed and anxious, to slow down your breathing and to focus on that instead. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this chair yoga session, working on our foundation as well as the rest of the body, and I hope to see you again very soon.